Hi, today we're going to be learning about how to renew our service membership online. The first thing we need to do is open our browser. Before we start, we want to make sure that we're prepared though. Have you got all of your documents scanned and ready for upload? So for me, I'm going to be renewing so that I can deliver the bronze medallion. To do that, I need my Working with Children check, my current pool lifeguard, my HLT AID 003 Provide First Aid, and my Bachelor of Education. So you can see I've saved these 4 PDFs on my computer ready so that I can attach them to the portal. If you haven't got those ready to go, I would recommend doing that now and just pressing pause on the video before we move on to the next step. Now that we have those things, I'm going to open the Google Chrome browser at the bottom of my screen. If you don't have a Google Chrome browser, it's very easy to get one. All you need to do is just Google download Chrome. And you'll see the first thing that loads up is a Google link. Do make sure that it is valid by checking the URL address that's appearing here is google.com.au and click the download now button. It's going to take you straight through to this button here and you'll be able to download a browser that's going to work well with our portal. We're lucky enough today that we already have the correct browser, so we're going to go straight through to the portal. In order to do that, we just want to type in lsv.com.au/training. It's not going to take very long for that to load, and when it does, we're going to be ready to log in. You can see it's already pre-logged me in. I'm just going to log out so that we can go through the steps. Now, if you are a current service member of Lifesaving Victoria, you will have a username and a password. If you're unsure what your username or your password is, you can contact 03 9676 6901 and we can issue that for you. Or if you're out of hours, you can just jump in here and go forgot username, forgot password, and it will be emailed through to you. Now today we're lucky enough that I already have those details preloaded in here. So the first thing we pop in here is our username and then our password. And then we click login. Now, because you're a service member, you're going to have these 2 extra tabs here that most people won't have. The one we're going to be focusing on today is Service Member Renew Membership. I'm going to click that button. If you've clicked it correctly, you should see on the right-hand side of the screen, you're now looking at a Service Member Renewal form. It's going to run very much like your hard copy form in the same order, but it's just going to be a little bit quicker to complete, and everything's going to be stored in our database. So we're going to go through this section by section, and we're going to start with our service member details. Now, you can see there's some grey boxes here. These grey boxes are your details as they appear in our system. However, you aren't able to change them here. If you have got details here that need to be updated in the grey sections, do contact our customer service team on 03 9676 6901 so that we can verify and update as required. Now, anything that's here is editable, so you'll be able to update that yourself, and it's a good idea to make sure it is current. If you've changed address or changed phone number, it's a good idea to get that changed here. Okay. All right, I'm not going to change anything in that section. I'm going to move down to the next section, Service Member Application for Renewal. So these are the same tick boxes that you see on the hard copy form, but it's very important that we read them and that we stay up to date. So I've provided my teaching and prerequisite and my award specific prerequisite. So we're going to be doing that today. I understand that as a service member, I'm unable to deliver accredited training. So it's very important that while we are delivering awards that are valid to industry, that we aren't delivering nationally accredited training with that VET symbol on them. Okay, it's important that our clients know, and it's important that we are aware of the limitations of what we can provide for our clients. Third option, I'm happy for my details to be made available to individuals, groups, and on the LSV website. Tick for yes. So this is how we can actually refer clients to you. Don't feel like you need to. If you are only delivering in-house to your own school or organisation, you don't need to click this button. But if you would like us to refer you to clients, then do click it. I've read and agreed to the Service Member Code of Practice. Now, I have read that a few times, so I'm not going to read it today, but it's a good idea just to click it. It has been recently updated. So click this button here and it's going to actually download into a new screen. Okay, it appears here. It's Very short document, and it is key information you're going to need to deliver your awards. Now, don't worry, we haven't lost our place. Click back here and you'll see this is where we're up to. So I've read that, and now I'm going to be providing my Working with Children check. That's the first thing that we need to pop in here. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is put our current Working with Children check number. For the purpose of this exercise, I'm just going to be popping a general number in there. It's issued by the Department of Health and Human Services, and we need to make sure it's current. So do make sure that if you are approaching your expiry date, that you do update it, because often, even though we're renewing and it's current at the time of renewal, you may need to provide us an up-to-date version in a couple of months. So bear in mind that date. If you want to, just pop it into your calendar reminders so that you do get an expiry reminder. All right, so now I'm going to be attaching my Working with Children check that I saved earlier on my desktop, ready to go. And I've now completed that first section. The next section is all about my teaching prerequisite. So these are the options that I can use in order to become a service member. In my case, I'm going to be using the Bachelor of Education, which is quite a common one to be using. Another one could be your training and assessment qualification. Do keep these as up to date as possible so that we can ensure that when we do actually get your application, we are able to approve it. So if you do happen to have an education qualification that has a validity cycle on it, do check to see that you're up to date before you actually upload. So in this situation, I'm going to pop in my Bachelor of Education. Okay, and I'm going to attach that now. All right, so that was nice and quick because we had everything prepared, everything saved in our desktop, and we only need to upload one document here. Okay, now I'm going to decide what I want to deliver as a service member. In my case, I just want to be delivering the bronze medallion, so I'm going to select that from this list here. Now, it could be that you actually need to select more than one award, and that's perfectly fine. All you need to do is just click here, and you'll see the list comes back up again. So put in as many as you need to, but in my case, I'm just going to be selecting the one award today. If you're not sure which awards you want to be delivering, there is a link here so that you can actually see what awards we have on offer and what prerequisites required. Please don't submit your application for an award delivery if you don't hold the prerequisite at the time that you do your application. And if you think at this point you want to stop and come back after you've updated your prerequisites, that's perfectly fine too. Today, we've got everything we need, so we're going to keep moving. Okay, these are my prerequisites. So there's 5 different prerequisites that you need to hold, or that you could hold to become a service member. In my case, I need to hold the pool lifeguard and the HLT AID 003 provide first aid. So I'm going to select that from the list. Okay, they're the only 2 prerequisites that I need to upload. So don't feel like because you're delivering the bronze that you need to upload all of your qualifications. Choose the 2 that are required. Now, it's important that when you are holding an award like a pool lifeguard or a bronze medallion, that it's actually current at the time that you're uploading and that you have enough currency for your service membership. So for instance, in this situation, we might have completed it on the 10th of April 2019. So therefore, I would be valid until the 10th of April 2020. So I've got lots of validity cycle on there. If, for instance, you did actually need to update midway through your service membership, that's perfectly fine, but please make sure that you don't deliver a service member award or a community award without having held a current award prerequisite. Okay, we're going to pop in our provide first aid. So our provide first aid was completed on the 20th of March 2019, and it's got a 3-year validity cycle. Now, it's important that our validity cycles are accurate so that you actually do have all of the right information when we go and review your service membership, because these are the dates that we'll be looking at. Okay. Now, all these other sections here are optional, depending on how many prerequisites you need based on what awards you'd like to deliver as a service member. So if I delivered more than the bronze medallion, I might have additional prerequisites required. I don't require those on this occasion, so I'm not going to upload anything here. Last but not least, our delivery and payment method. So I'm going to select a payment method. I could choose an organisation invoice so that I can pay that through my school or through my organisation. Now, if I choose that, I need to make sure it's either a 12 or a 24-month membership, and I need to make sure that I have itemized the correct organisation, because that's the organisation that's actually going to be itemized on the invoice. So if I get it incorrect at this point, it's going to be difficult to amend. You can see if I pop the address in, it's going to pre-fill that information for me, which is nice and easy. Make sure that you put your valid email in here so that we can send it through to you. If we can't send you the bill, we aren't able to approve your membership. For any organisation invoice, we require a purchase order number, and we also need a copy of that purchase order. So it's very important that those things get attached at this point so that we can actually get that invoice sent through to us and have approval nice and swiftly. If there's something you know is incorrect at this point, it's not a good idea to proceed, because we may end up having to send back your application and start again. So that's everything you need to upload. If you want to go by credit card, you can also do that. You can see the price itemizers here, depending on the payment type selected, 12 or 24 months. Pop in all of your details, and that payment actually gets processed immediately, and then we send you through a receipt. You may be wondering what happens in the event that you aren't approved for a service membership, but we have processed payment. Please be assured that we will give you an opportunity to complete your application, but if you so wish to, then we can essentially remove your application and then refund that amount. Okay, so be sure that you hold all of the prerequisites, but don't worry, if in the event that you aren't approved, we will certainly refund. Once you've filled out everything correctly, click Process My Application and Payment, and that's going to push straight through to our team. You'll get a copy of all the information you've input today, as will Lifesaving Victoria. And once we've had a chance to review your application, we'll send you an email to advise if you've been approved or if additional information is required. Thank you very much, and if there's any other questions, please don't hesitate to contact our team.